Joined in now. So I'll do a quick introduction of myself. And my name is my name is Varun Malik. Sorry, I'm very tired. This is the last event in a 7-day summit, so you can imagine. But my name is Varun Malik. I'm the CEO of a new age consulting firm called Consolidon. Consolidon is new age in the sense that we took a very different model to grow our consulting firm than a normal consulting firm would. So instead of hiring a lot of consultants and putting them on consulting projects, we decided to partner with a lot of subject matter experts from many different boutique consulting firms. So subject matter experts like Millen, as an example. So we partner with more than 300 boutique consulting firms to deliver our projects. To date, we've delivered about 250 to 280 consulting projects across the GCC region, which is our prime focus, the GCC region. We decided to set up this web summit in 2021. This is the first edition of this web summit. It's been 7 days of almost non-stop webinars, panel discussions, workshops. We've had about 1,800 participants attend these panel discussions and webinars and workshops from across the GCC. I'm really looking forward to this last workshop in this edition. We're going to do a second edition of Connected Insights in May. So we will keep you posted on that, of course. Today's workshop is on business DNA. What I'd like all of you to do, if that's okay, is interact as well during this workshop. So this isn't like a typical webinar or a panel discussion where it's a one-way discussion. It's more of an interactive discussion. So feel free to keep your videos on, off as you would like it, but do interact either using the chat or verbally, right? So I think that's it from me. Milind, I was really looking forward to this workshop, and all the best.
Thank you, Varun. Good evening, everyone. You can unmute yourself.
Good evening.
Start your video if you wish to. All right. Okay. So I have a question before we actually begin the workshop. Okay. How many of you would like to have a massive business progress in this year? Give me thumbs up. You can start your video and give me a thumbs up if you wish to make a massive progress in this year. Absolutely. You can just use the reaction button. Thank you. And how many of you not like to have a massive business progress in this year? You may want to give me a thumb down. Varun does not want to make a massive business progress, is it? All right. Okay. So again, good morning and good evening, everyone. My name is Milind Desai, and I'm going to conduct today's Business DNA workshop. Now, how do you create progress in your business irrespective of the economic crisis that we are anticipating and we are going through? I've been doing this series of I've muted participants. So I've been doing this series of workshop for open groups and for the organizations from across the globe since the time the lockdown had started last year, and we have thousands of entrepreneurs who have benefited from this series of workshop. So make sure that you have a notebook and a pen or a notepad open on your computer screen, because there are lots of notes that you may want to take. And make sure that you are in a room where nobody disturbs you. And I just want you to know that stay 100% present physically, mentally, and emotionally, so that you can grasp as much as you can and take actions in your business at the end of this workshop. Now, for the internet connection issues, if at all you get disconnected for whatever reasons, use the same link and come back. And if at all I get disconnected, I do have a signal tracker installed here with me. So in case I get disconnected, I have two backup lines with me. So, I'll be back in less than 2 minutes, right? So in case you get disconnected, use the same link for the Zoom. And if I get disconnected, I'll be back. All right. So with your permission, let me just share the screen. Is it okay if I share the screen? Just give me a thumbs up if you all are okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Also, we have the chat window here on the screen, right? We have a chat window. Use it wisely. Do not use it for promoting your products and services. There should be this session should be interactive, and you will be able to chat with me directly. Okay, so I have a chat control here with me. All right, let me just share my screen. All right. Can you see my screen? Can you hear me? And if you can see me, just give me a thumbs up. Thanks, Nadeem. Thanks. Thank you very much. All right. Okay, so this is so before we start, let me tell you who I am, where I come from. Okay. Or rather, let me do this. Some of you may be following me on my social media, or you might have seen my videos, or might have attended my workshops. A lot of you may not know who I am and where I come from and what do I do. So for the benefit of those who have no idea who I am, where I come from, or what I do, I'm going to give you a quick background, and I'll tell you why it's important for you to understand my background, because I'm not a motivational speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm a business coach and a consultant, and I work with entrepreneurs from India, Africa, UAE, China, and we have coached thousands companies across these countries. All right. So let me tell you. Okay. So okay. On mute. Okay, guys, you can mute yourself and unmute whenever you wish to talk. Otherwise, you can keep yourself on mute. Let me mute. All right. All right. So I'm an engineering, graduate. That's my first professional qualification, and then I've done my master's in human resources from XLRI. That's in Jamshedpur, India. I started my first company in 2004 by name Blue Mouse India, and we were primarily into website design. Like back in 2004, website design business was a boom, in the market. So that's where I started my first company in 2004. And then I've worked with international organizations like IBM, Dell, Accenture. I'll just show you my clientele in a while. So that's the kind of business that I work for. I started my second company in 2016. Again, that was an IT company, IT and the SEO company. And we to just 1 minute, guys. Someone is okay. Just 1 minute.
Hello, good evening.
All right, so now we are good. So I started my second company in 2016, and I started my third company, which is Confab Pro. That's CONFAB PRO, which I'm a part of as of now. So these three companies are started by 2017. Now, 2017, when I had three companies. I was suffering from a disease. You need to write down the name of disease. Okay, the name of the disease is CEO cancer. What is CEO cancer? CEO cancer is a kind of disease where everyone around you feels that you are making a lot of money, and you are not. Only you know that you are not making money, but for everyone around, since you have two companies, you are making a lot of money, and and everyone feels that still and that's why I'm adding one more company in my kitty. And that's not how it works, right? I used to feel proud when I used to give salaries to my employees, and I'm not taking the consistent income back home. So that's how it's all started. And when the third company we started, I was I was into jobs by then, and then I started my own third company, and that was the business coaching and consulting company, right? So, and then I had to close down my first company, which I started in 2004 because of various reasons. So by 2017, I had two companies under my belt, and that's how I started. So that's about me. Now let's move to the next agenda. Okay, I'll just quickly take you through the clients that I have. So this is the agenda that we are going to talk about. We are going to talk about the one big mistake the entrepreneurs make, the BIZO model, and next step for your growth. These are some of my clients. They are based in India, Africa, China, UAE, and yeah, some of them, one of them from the Canada. All right, so let's move to the next one. Okay. All right, so this is the agenda for today's workshop. So stay patient, just stay patient, absorb towards the end. If you have any questions, I would be happy to answer questions, but throughout this process, just absorb, because we have a lot of things to share with you that will genuinely give a pathway to create progress in your business. Now, before I begin, I would love to know, because a lot of people have just joined, I would love to know which city, or which country you have joined in. So you may just want to put in your chat box at which city or country that you have joined in from. Just put it in a chat box, which city or country, or both, city and country both. Istanbul, Egypt. Awesome. Bangalore, UAE, Dubai, Noida. Awesome. Bangalore, yep. Okay. Poland. That's great. Right, so the next question or the information that I'm looking for is the business type that you have. So, like you might be in the trading business or IT or real estate or hospitality, so just write down what kind of business that you have in the chat box. Hospitality, HR consulting, data analytics and AI consulting, and will be training in 2021. Management consulting, that is great. All right, awesome. Facility management and executive search, Kamal Mehta. Thank you, awesome. All right, so with that, let's get started with the business DNA workshop. A very warm welcome once again to each one of you. Thank you for trusting me with your time. And I promise you that by the end of this workshop, you will thank yourself for making the decision to be a part of the business DNA workshop. So with that, let's get started with what is the biggest mistake entrepreneurs make? What are the tasks that you need to do and create business progress? We'll talk about it at the later. You can put the questions in the chat box if you have, or any comments that you have in the chat box. Right, so with that, let's start answering this question. One big mistake entrepreneurs make, and the mistake is about worrying. Okay. How do you create progress in your business irrespective of economic crisis? And this is the question that we have on the screen, that, one big mistake that entrepreneurs make. Now, let's understand, we cannot deny that this is not about being motivational, saying that, we will be successful one day. This is about accepting that, yes, there is a challenge. Now, what do we need to do to overcome this challenge? That is the thing that we need to work on. So there are two types of solutions that I'm going to give you today. All right. The first solution that I'm going to give you is a mindset solution. Okay. How do you need to manage the mind? Because if you cannot manage your mind, it will be difficult for you to manage your action. The second type of solution that I'm going to give you is the BIZO model that we just talked about in the previous slide. Okay. So BISO model is very specific action steps and tasks that you need to do as a business, whether you are into manufacturing, hospitality, trading, real estate, retail, yoga instructor, or any service business, any business. It does not matter. The task I'm going to define for you are relevant for any business. So this is how we're going to structure the workshop. Okay. So with that, let's get into the mindset part of it, right? Um, I'm going to share with you a big mistake that I'm seeing a lot of business owners make, in this time of crisis, and that is, people. This mistake people are making over and over and over, and they are spending most of the time in that. So most of the energy is going in worry about the present and the future of their business. Now consider this: we need to understand what's in our control and what is not in our control. If you keep on worrying, that's not going to change anything. Rather, it will make you sad and depressed. So the time is such that the businesses are still not open completely, or they are open, but the offices are not started, or they are partially open now, and so does the lockdown. It will take time for businesses to come back to its original pace. So worrying about your business is not getting you anything but more tension, more stress, and nothing but unhappiness. So we have become, people have become negative about everything. I always say that when the businesses are low, you don't go low, because this is the time when people around us also looks negative to us. Even if they are not. And most of the industries, during this pandemic, most of the industries have got a hit due to this pandemic. Travel and hospitality at the top, but now, except the major international flights, people have started taking vacations. Try booking a good hotel in one of the good place, one of the good vacation place. It's difficult to find booking, right? So the businesses are trying, slowly and gradually they are trying to come up with the pace. So by thinking low and worrying too much, the only thing we are doing is, we are consuming so much of negativity that the brain has no option left to become negative, and it gets into worry about why this is happening with me. What will I do? How will I survive? How will my business survive? Ladies and gentlemen, one big insanity that human beings demonstrate is to sit and worry about things that they are not in control. Because I want you to understand why worrying is so dangerous. How many of you agree that worrying actually kills you more than the real problem? How many of you agree? If you agree with that, write down agree in the chat box. That worrying actually kills you more than the real problem. Absolutely. Right. So so in the initial phase of the lockdown, initial phase of the pandemic, it was a health crisis, and it's pretty viral. It spreads. Then it has become the economic crisis, and then from there, it's going to become a psychological crisis. So we are almost somewhere in between stage 2 and 3, so stage 2.5. So we are between economic crisis and the psychological crisis. It has become an economic crisis so much that it's getting converted into the psychological crisis. Business owners are living in fear of financial losses and future of business. And how many of you agree that when you live in fear, you cannot create growth, you cannot create progress? So be careful about what you're consuming, because what you consume dictates what you think. And do you so one question that I have to everyone here: do you really want to use this crisis to your benefit? If that is something you want to do, it write down me in the chat box. If you want to use this crisis to your benefit. Absolutely. So most of you, right? Okay. Right. Because we need to understand this. If today as a business you don't have enough savings, you don't have reserves, you don't have emergency funds, then you need to got to review your own business model and ask yourself that, hey, why didn't we take care of doing business with the right margins? Why didn't we take care of managing our money the right way? Why didn't we just go with the flow and take up projects or sell goods and services at any cost? This is the time to reflect, ladies and gentlemen. And I honestly believe if people learn their lessons, they will do business in a more conscious way and in a more profitable way and in a more, even focused way. Right? How many of you agree that if you learn your lesson, then you will do your business in a better manner once this crisis is completely over or we get over the crisis, right? If you agree with this, with this that businesses can be better if you learn your lesson and start working with that. If you agree with that, write down agree in the chat box. Absolutely. Guys, you can park your questions. The questions related to what's going on, I'll be answering them right away. But any other questions related to your business, like someone is asking that how do we revive out of this? So we'll be talking about this. We have good 2.5 hours with us, ladies and gentlemen. We will be talking about it. All right. So if you have any question about what's there on the screen and what we are talking, I'll be more than happy to answer those questions right there. Okay, so during this time, firstly, understand that what is there in your control and what is not in your control. So the master tip here is the acceptance. Okay, understand what is in your control and what is not in your control. What is in your control? The only thing that is in your control are your thoughts, your conversation with yourself, your actions, and your efforts. Now, these four things are in your control: your thoughts, your conversations with yourself, your actions, and your efforts. How many of you agree that thoughts, conversation, and actions are in your control? If you agree, write down agree in the chat box. And if you think that this is not in your control, write down not me in the chat box. All right, so most of you agree that it's not in your, okay, so we have a couple of them saying that, okay, my thoughts and my conversations with myself and actions are not in control. So don't worry about it. We'll be talking about it. Okay. So guys, this is the best time to network with people. This is the best time to create, this is the best time. Now is the time for you to sit down and create your systems, your processes, your strategies for the growth, your ideas for your business. Okay. Let me bring this awareness to the something. Okay, before the lockdown, before the economic crisis, most entrepreneurs used to say that I want to create systems, I want to train my team, I want to do this, I want to work on the new idea, I want to innovate this new product, I want to research on this new product, I want to introduce this new services. Before the lockdown, people used to say that I want to do all of these things, but Milind, I don't have time. Now when they had the time, they still cry, right? They said, Milind, there is so much I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So when we had the time, we were crying. When we did not have time, so now when we have time, we are still crying, right? So some of you may find people around you who have this habit of crying for about everything. So just be away from those. Okay, so now, so how will you start coming out of this situation? How many of you want to come out of this situation where you want to restart, or you want to make sure that your focus is on the entire organization rather than one part of a business? How many of you want to do that? Write down me in the chat box. Thank you. All right. All right. So now, have you experienced this? Okay. Have you experienced? If you have experienced this, write down me in the chat box. Okay. Have you experienced that? When you are working in your business, when you're solving one part of, one problem of your business, the other starts. Other problem starts. So when you are working, solving problems of one department, problems for the other department starts. When you go to that department, some other department problems start. Have you experienced this? I mean, even if you're a solopreneur, if you're a single person business, have you experienced that when you put your energies for marketing, you don't know how to convert into sales. When you go to sales, your deliveries and marketing starts suffering. If have you experienced this? If you have experienced this, type down me in the chat box. Absolutely. So many of us have been experiencing this, right? All right. So see, solving one problem or of one department and going to solve another problem. The whole day goes in this, right? And then we are not able to actually focus on what we want to do. Some of you may ask that, Milind, I'm into manufacturing business. Even the production is very low since there is no or less demand from the market. What task can I do? Milind, my real estate company, is almost down since no one want to invest in the real estate, or if they want to invest, they don't want to invest with me because I'm a small business. What can I do? Milind, I have a solo service business. I'm a financial advisor. I'm a yoga instructor. I'm a coffee shop owner. I'm an SME with 50 employees. I'm in an organization with, we have about 80 employees. I have an organization where we have 200 employees, right? So I'll tell you what exactly each one of you have to do, right? So just hold on. We are coming up one step at a time, right? I'm going to give you clear tasks today for you to take actions on, when, so you need to take actions when you are in that right frame of mindset, then only this action step which I'm going to give you, that's going to work. And I promise you that if you follow that, you will create a progress. So by the end of this workshop, you will have few actionable tasks which will, if you start working on that, maybe from tomorrow with your team, if you're a solopreneur with yourself, that will definitely give you progress. Okay, so if you are excited to know these things, write down excited in the chat box. Thank you. All right. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the few fundamental things that we as a business owner at times, do not focus on. And these things are the most important things for your business. Okay, these are the most important aspects of your business, which we at times, we don't focus on. And we end up worrying everything else, but not this. So now, before I start working on it, I would like to give you a framework which you need to write it down on your notepads or your notebooks the way I'm putting it on the screen. Okay, write down this: Miss Goa Wami V. Write it down. This is an acronym. I'm going to talk about it. Okay, it's MISSGOA and Wami V. Write this down. Okay, once you write it down, ensure that you have a space below and above this acronym, so you can write down the the acronym that I'm going to give you, the solution that I'm going to give you here. All right, so what's Miss Goa Wami V? Let's see this. So mission is Miss, vision is V, goals, milestones, values, achievement tracking, and strategy. Now, a lot of people says that all these things doesn't work, but trust me guys, I've been working with so many entrepreneurs, and once you have these things sorted out, once you have your vision, mission, goals, your achievement tracking, your values, your milestones, and your strategy in place, only thing that you need to do is you need to put your efforts to get it sorted. Okay, and for this framework that I'm giving you, it works for any domain, any size, be it a large company of maybe 5,000 employees, or a company with 10 employees, or even a single person company, single owner company. Every company needs to have these the aspects. Now let me give you the understanding of this. Now, for a lot of businesses that I've seen, that for them, vision and mission are only for their websites. Some content writer write it down for them, and it remains there on their website forever, and then they don't do anything about it, right? Do you think, is this how the big companies operate? Do you think that the big organizations, like the biggest organization in your field, they operate this way? The answer is no. The answer is no. They have a set structure, they have a set goals, they have a set strategies, they have set visions. I'm sure from your industry, if you do research, you will see the organizations doing their planning for next 2 years, next 5 years, next 10 years. How do they do that? This is the framework. This is the framework where you need to ensure that you work on it. And a lot of entrepreneurs get confused between vision and mission and goals and all those things. I'll give you one easy to understand example. Okay, vision. Now, visions are usually abstract. Vision does not have numbers in it. Okay, so now let me give you a very easy example, a layman's language example. Let's say the vision is, let's go on a vacation. Now that is the vision. Okay, let's go on a vacation. That is the vision. Okay, the mission can be specific things. So let's say if I'm in Abu Dhabi, my mission can be, let's go to Russell Kima. Okay, now that is being very specific. So vision says that let's go on a vacation. The mission said let's go to Russell Kima. Now, what about goals? So goal says that let's reach Russell Kima by, let's say, 15th of April, and we need to start by 14th of April, and we will take one break at Sharjah, another one at Ajman, and not Fujairah because that is out of our way. Are you getting, ladies and gentlemen? We are being very specific about our vision. So the vision says let's go on a vacation. The mission said let's go to Russell Kima. The goal said let's reach Russell Kima by 15. We start on 14. Maybe we take 2 breaks, one at Sharjah, one at Ajman, and not at Fujairah. Achieve tracking would be tracking these goals, that whether we are reaching, whether we are taking the first break at Sharjah and Ajman or not. The milestones would be these 2 places that we just talked about. And the values, if we are driving it down and we have a driver, the values can be that no matter what happens, we will not drive beyond 150 kilometers per hour. And we will ensure that at least one person will be awake along with the driver to keep him awake. Are you understanding? Right? Are you understanding? The values are something which you do not want to compromise, right? And the strategy is, planning everything else, putting everything put together. So that is your strategy. So this is how the Miss Goa Wami V is the acronym for mission, vision, achievement tracking, goals, milestones, values, and strategy. These are very fundamental aspects of any business, and most of the business owners they do not follow this. Okay, so now let's understand each one of these in detail. Okay, let me give you an example of a bicycle. Okay, we all have seen the bicycle which has two wheels and the handlebar. Now the handlebar, if you consider handlebar, your handlebar is your vision and mission, which actually gives you the direction. Your handlebars are your mission and vision, which actually gives you the direction, which actually gives you the purpose, which actually gives you the objectives of why you are doing the business, right? So mission and vision is for that. Your goals are, the goals are your brakes and the goals are your spokes of your tire. So now let's understand this. Business is a wheel. Understand this, ladies and gentlemen. Business is like a wheel, right? And we have so many spokes around it, right? So if and these spokes are responsible to hold your tire, right? The vision and the mission, the handlebar, the handlebar gives you the right direction. It tells you whether you're going the right direction, where to stop, where not to stop. So vision is very important. We at Confabro do workshops on advanced visioning, which is a 2-day intensive workshop where we invite all key members of the organizations and family members if it's a family-run business. And some of the participants in the workshop, today also, they have gone through this workshop and they have created their visions, which helps them take each and every decision, and it helps them create their business goals as well. So now let's understand, why do we need business goals? Okay, I ask you this question, that do you feel that you have to get too much involved in getting new clients, and you actually do that, but You are always and always involved in problem solving at your business operations. Okay. Now, the moment you focus on getting new clients, you actually start getting them. But your team starts falling short because now you have new business, but you don't have team. By the time you recruit someone and train, your sales and operations start suffering. That is when you zoom in, when you zoom in towards one part of your business, others start suffering. Now this actually burns you out from within, and you end up being a spiral of problem that takes you ahead, but it takes you nowhere, but kills your zeal and excitement of things that you actually good at. So from a business owner and a leader, you become a firefighter who tries putting down one flame until the bigger one appears from somewhere else. Okay, let me tell you that most of the small and medium business entrepreneurs are facing the similar challenge across the world, and the only way to come out from this problem is to zoom out and define your business goals in all function of any business. Again, it can be any business, be it a retail, IT, trading, construction, hospitality, coffee shop, yoga instructor, any service organization. Okay, so so as my mentor and coach Mr. Blair Singer says that business is like a wheel and which has spokes. Okay, now imagine in a cycle where there is one spoke that is broken. Okay, so one spoke is broken, it comes out, and you start paddling, your cycle, you start your business. Now what happens, that broken spoke then interferes with other stable spokes, and it starts breaking those stable spokes as well. As more spokes breaks, the wheel loses its balance, and because there are no spokes to hold the wheel, you collapse. And in terms of business, the business collapse. So in the same way, business is like a wheel which has 7 spokes. Okay, we already talked about the handlebar, which is vision and your mission. Okay, and I'm now going to talk about the 7 spokes. Okay, so we need to ensure that we work on all this 2 vision and mission and 7 spoke. Okay, now let me tell you what are these 7 spokes. Okay, the first spoke that we have is of marketing. Okay, everybody write this stuff. This is the first activity or department which is important for every business, whether you are manufacturing, retail, trading, service, real estate. Marketing is an important activity for every business. And the goal of the marketing is to generate leads. So next to marketing, in your notebooks, write down, put a hyphen and put down lead generation. Okay, the goal of marketing as a department or as a function or as an activity is to generate inquiries, to generate new, fresh, prospective customers. Now let me tell you where the challenge comes here. When I ask a lot of small and medium business owners, how do you get clients? How do you get new queries? How do you get inquiries? Most people says that, Milind, I get new inquiries through word of mouth referral. Now, please understand this, ladies and gentlemen. Word of mouth is a good thing. I'm not against it. Okay. Word of mouth means you are doing good business. You are a great service provider, or you are a great manufacturer, or you are great retailer providing quality products. And because you are good at what you do, there are existing customers who are happy with you, who recommends new customers to you. So word of mouth is a good thing as a business, but from the marketing point of view, it's an unhealthy thing. Let me tell you how and why. I have a question for all of you. If your business relies on word of mouth referrals for getting new projects, for getting new customers, for getting new clients, then do you agree that you cannot control and you cannot predict how many inquiries you will generate in a week, or how many inquiries you will generate in a month through word of mouth marketing? How many of you agree that you are not in a control of how many inquiries you will generate through word of mouth marketing, because you cannot predict who will recommend you to whom and when will they come in? and how many people will recommend you to their friends and families and their colleagues, and how many word of mouth inquiries you will get in a week or month. Now watch. If you cannot predict the number of inquiries or leads you are getting every week or every month or every quarter, how many of you agree that you cannot control the sales that you are going to have in that quarter? If you agree with that, write down agree in the chat box. Thank you. Right? So, because if there are no leads, there'll be no sales. And if there is no inquiries, no projects in the pipeline, then sales will not happen. So, when your lead generation is not in your control, your revenue generation is also not in your control. So, when your revenue generation is not in your control, your business is not on your control. It means your business is not in your control, your life is not in your control, because most of the business owners, they live their life as a business life. Right? And that's why I say this to people, that no matter what business you are in, what your, what size of the business that you have, what scale of the business you have, or what sector of the business you have, marketing is a critical activity, and you cannot rely on word of mouth referrals only. You have to be proactive in marketing. If you agree with this, type down agree in the chat box. Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay. So you have to be proactive in marketing, which means you need to take charge and implement strategies to get more footfall into your business. You need to take charge and implement strategies to get more inquiries for your service business, or for your manufacturing business, or for whatever business that you're in. You need to take charge and generate inquiries for no matter what business you do. Marketing is critical for every business. Now the challenge, when I say marketing, I'm not just talking about the digital marketing, ladies and gentlemen. Digital marketing can be one of the strategy, and it may not be relevant for everybody. Okay, if you're a manufacturer whose target audience is in, let's say, your target audience are European buyers, your marketing strategy can be your email and online ads. Let's understand this. Business has not gone down. Okay, businesses have not gone down. It has just got distributed, right? Because today there is more and more competition every day. There is more and more information available to everyone due to technological advancement, and there are more options and opportunities for the customers. So if there are more options and opportunity for your customers, please do not expect the customers to come and search for and say that, where were you? I want to give my business to you. If you want the customer, you need to go out. You need to go and tell that what you are good at. If you understand, no matter how old you are in the business, how many years you've been in the business, marketing is critical. If you understand marketing is critical in in your business, you need to start working on it. Okay, so you have to go out there. You cannot wait for businesses to come to you. Times have changed, especially in the pandemic, and if you do not change with the times, then time will change you, ladies and gentlemen. So marketing is the first activity which is very critical for your business. The next activity is sales, right? The second activity, which is important in the wheel of business, and that is sales. So I want you to understand this. Marketing generates inquiries, it generates prospects. Sales converts those inquiries, those prospects into a customer, and closes the deal and generates the revenue, right? So the job of sales is revenue generation. The job of marketing is lead generation. The job of sales is revenue generation. The job of sales is revenue generation. We need to understand this. Now, in this, please understand this. If your marketing is not consistent and proactive, the sales also will become inconsistent and reactive. So sales is the second core activity of any business. Let's see which is the third one. All right. The next thing is operation. Now, the goal of operation is value creation and happiness, customer happiness. Okay, the goal of operation is to deliver value to your customers and make sure your customers are happy. Now, when I talk to business owners and I ask them, what are your values? They said the customer satisfaction, and I always say that customer satisfaction is not the choice that you have in today's era. Customer satisfaction is not the choice any of the businesses that they have. If Facebook has to do the marketing, if Google has to do the marketing, that means they are looking for customers whom they can keep happy. Now, I want all of you to understand this. Please write this down. Okay, different businesses have different department under operations. What do I mean by that? Once you generate a customer, all the activities that happen, put together to produce a product or services that you deliver, all those departments put together comes under operations, which means for in a manufacturing business, under operation you would have different departments. You will have purchases, you have production, you have QC, you have packaging, you have maintenance, you may have IT and technological department, you have logistics, right? So this is operations where the actual business happens. Now, while there are so many different departments in the operations in manufacturing business, in a service business there may not be so many departments and operations in the services. Okay, so in the service business you may have service design, you may have service delivery, service feedback, and maybe some after sales services. In a retail business, some operation department may not have so many departments. They may just have inventory management or a stock management, and over the counter sales, right? So in each business there are different departments under operations, and the goal of this department is the same across all the businesses, and the goal is to deliver value to your customer and make sure that your customers are happy. The next function that I'm going to talk about is accounts and finance, and these are the three goals. Okay, this is the next activity which is a critical for any business irrespective of your size, sector, and scale of the business. Accounts and finance is very important. Now the goal of the accounts are, as I have mentioned on the screen, write down these three goals. The first goal of account is to maintain accuracy of data. How many of you agree that data has to be accurate? If you have inaccurate data, then there are chances that you don't know where the business is heading. Okay, you don't know. So basically accounts is a kind of function which acts like a compass, the compass which shows you the direction. Okay, so it determines whether your business is progressing or it's not progressing or it's collapsing. So you need to have accurate data. So that is the first goal of account. Okay, so far we have covered three functions: marketing, sales, operation. This is the fourth one, and we are talking about the accounts and finance. We talked about the first goal of the account, which is accuracy. The second important goal or objective of accounting as a function or a department is compliance. And compliance means all statutories, laws that governs your business. We need to ensure that our organization is compliant. So the second goal, which is one of the important goals for the accounts and finance, is to be compliant. The third goal, and which is the most important goals in account, which is insight or error-free reporting. Now, what do I mean by insights? Insights mean you need to have a system where you are getting data on the goal, so that you know that what is the exact position of your business, so that you can make accurate decisions. I have seen business owners take up projects from various countries at a margin of maybe 5 or 8%. When the tax deduction happens, they are paying 10% tax. So while making the payment, they are paying more than what they are earning. So essentially, they are funding the project. So ladies and gentlemen, you need to have data to make decisions. Otherwise, we'll just go with the flow, and when the flow becomes flat, you will never know. So insights or the reporting is very important. The next function in the business is R&D. Okay. Now, when I say R&D, if you're a small and medium business owner, if you're a solopreneur, don't sit and imagine a laboratory with test tubes and fumes flowing out of it, and in a Microsoft, you yourself wearing a coat and doing some kind of research. No. R&D, research and development, and a small and medium business owner is very simple. Okay, creating new products and new services. And I'll tell you why it's important for every business to keep offering new products and new services. Okay, the first reason why it's important for us as a business to keep offering new products and new services is when you offer new products and new services, you get new customers. Okay, and if you realize, you get new customers when you have new products and new services to offer. The second thing is, when you have a new products or a services to offer, you make more money from your existing customers. You make more money from your existing customers. So creating new products and new services gives you the opportunity to get new customers and make more money from these customers. And that's where you only realize that R&D is important, research and development. Yes, if someone is asking me what is R&D, so R&D is research and development. Okay, so if you have understood this, type down R&D in the chat box. If you could understand this, type down R&D in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so keep creating what else you can offer to my target audience. You need to understand that what else I can give you to my business, to my customers. Okay, so every time, and it's not that you have to give something at every month. You understand your business, so you need to know that you need to give newness to your customers. Okay, and more customers will generate more sales for you. Okay, and that's why R&D is important, and you don't have to have an R&D department for yourself, for all the business. In small and medium businesses, R&D is typically done by the business owner himself or herself, to think about the new products and services. The next important function or a SPO is human resources. Okay, now there are 3 goals of human resources. Now, some of you are thinking that, Milind, I'm a small business. Hold on. Learn the activities, then I'll tell you how each one is relevant to small businesses and what's not relevant to relevant. So just hold on, okay? The job of human resource are 3 things. Number 1, to recruit the right people at the right time. The second job is to develop people. The people you have in your team, to train them, develop them, give them new skills, new knowledge, so they can upgrade and take higher responsibilities. The third job of human resource is to make sure that your employees, your teams are happy. Because if your team is not happy, you will not have happy customers. And if you do not have happy customers, your business will not flourish. So these are the human resources goals. Now, I have given you 6 activities and plus vision and mission. So far, there is a 7th one, which I'll give you in a moment. I have given you 6 activities. How many of you think that these 6 activities are relevant for any business, no matter what size or scale? If you agree with that, type down agree in the chat box. Great. Thank you. For solopreneur and micro business, you do not have I'm not saying that human resources, like someone is asking me that, for how many employees we need to have a human resources. I'm not saying that you need to have human resources for, the day one you start the business. In fact, I would say that you don't need human resource, a person till the time you are 15 to 20 employees organization. Okay. Same with accounts and finance. If you do not have at least 4 hours of your work, you do not need a full-time accountant for your business. You may want to outsource it. Okay, right. Okay, so the 7th activity is management, and the goal of the management is to give clarity, performance acceleration, and strategic growth. Now, having said that, this is the 7th activity, okay, which is the most important activity in your business, and that is management. And I have a question to all of you. Type in the chat box that whose job is to do the management. Whose job do you think is the management? Type out in the chat box, okay? Whose job do you think is the management? Write down who according to you should be doing the management. Write it in the chat box. Exactly. It's you. It's you, business owners. Absolutely. Yes, promoters, company owners. Absolutely. Right? Awesome. So it's your job. The business owner's job is to do management. Now, your job is a management in your business. And under management, as I have mentioned on the screen, you have three responsibilities. The first job under management is to provide clarity. We are going to talk about clarity in the further sections as well. You need to be the one who is giving clarity to every department, every team member on where we are right now, where do we want to go. Now, when I say that you need to give clarity to every team member, the business owners of businesses which are more than 100 people, they say income that million, we may not have time to do that, but you don't have to do it everything on your own. You need to put it on to your people and they'll pass it on. Okay, so we need to ensure that we give clarity to every department, every team member on where we are right now and where do we want to go and how we are going to get there. Okay, so your job is to give clarity. You cannot hire a team member and say that now you give me clarity that what job you wish to do. Okay, no, that's not right direction that you have taken. So you need to give clarity, and that is your first job. The second job you have is to accelerate performance. Now everybody write this down. Okay, performance acceleration, or write accelerate performance. What do I mean by accelerate performance? Okay, now look at here, look at on the screen. Keep a right hand up and say this after me. Okay, what we can achieve, everybody keep it right hand up and say this after me, what we can achieve. But keep your hand here, and now lift your left hand and say what we are achieving. Okay, what we are achieving and what we achieve. Okay, see, now there is a gap between the potential of the business and the performance of the business. You are here, you can reach here. Are you with me? Okay, so now your job as the management of the business is to accelerate this performance. Now, how do you do that? You do that by training your people, by mentoring your people, by managing your team, by reviewing their work, by giving them feedback, by building the team. You need to train, mentor, manage their reviews, give them feedback. Only when you do all of these, you will see people know this is for all the entrepreneurs. That I say this to most of the business owners. Okay, and a lot of people say that, Milind, we don't know how to do that. Okay, you just need to sit and start and passing your knowledge to people who reports to you directly. You need to mentor them, you need to manage them, you need to give them do their reviews, give them feedback to your people. Instead of doing all that, I can do my job myself only. A lot of people say that that if I do all of this, when will I do my job? I want to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is your job. This is one of your job. Okay, so you may have all the capabilities. Someone said that I do not have time, right? So this is the reason you are firefighting. That's why you do not have time. Because you get involved in one part of the business and other is suffering, right? So you may be very hardworking. You may be very passionate, right? So the key word here is constantly, how many of you, so consistency is the keyword. Okay, how many of you agree that one person cannot do all the activities consistently? Okay, write down if you agree that one person cannot do all the activities on its own with the utmost consistency. If you agree with that, write down agree. Absolutely, yes. Someone said agree 100%, right? Right. So do not expect yourself to do everything. Again, if you do that, trust me, the consistency consistently will not be there. Most entrepreneurs run away from the accelerating performance. They run away from building a team because they think that I can do everything, so I don't need to build a team. Okay, listen, even if you're hardworking, you may be able to do your people's job. And you know that the biggest challenge is because most of the entrepreneurs are not building teams. They are facing problems. Everything in that business is depend on them. And if you agree that if everything in business is dependent on you, you will not have consistency. Okay, so now when you are not able to be consistent with marketing, with sales, with operations, with R&D, with accounts, then what happens? Tell me what happens, right? Then you take actions only when there is a crisis, right? You take actions only when there is a crisis. I have seen this with businesses, no results. Yes, someone said no results. Absolutely. So I have seen this with business owners day in, day out. Most business are doing things where there is a crisis. They get into the action when there is a crisis. Okay. So basically, so anywhere there is a fire, the business owner becomes a firefighter. The business owner does not focus on the growth because they are, involved so much in solving problem. So when there is no leads in the pipeline, suddenly business owner becomes the marketers. They start doing digital marketing themselves. They join referral network organizations to start networking. They start sending out mailers to their own database. They start reaching out to their own customers. Why? Because there is a crisis in marketing. And when they get leads, they go for the sales meeting themselves. Why? Because there is very few leads, and every sales meeting should be the best sales meeting, and that's why I want to be a part of it. And I'm the best salesperson. So let me also do sales. So when you are doing sales, the marketing is suffering and stopped, right? So then when you close the deal, convert your sales into business, then then you said that, oh, operation, now I'll have to take care of the customer because I like giving personal touch. How many people, how many customers you will give personal touch, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, when you are in busy in operation, now your marketing and sales sufferings, it starts suffering, right? Your service to your customers starts suffering. Okay, and this never ends, ladies and gentlemen. This never ends. Okay, so you can't build a stable and successful business if everything is depend on you. Now, the third one, finally the focus, your third focus should be on strategic growth. Your job is to focus on strategic growth, strategic growth, new products, new opportunities, new geographies, new partnerships. This is, you need to think that, this is what I'm supposed to do. Nobody else will think that for your own business, but you will think about your business. If you will not get time to do this, if you sit and do firefighting for survival every month, every month, month by month, month by month. Can I tell you something? Leave the lockdown, leave the pandemic, leave the economic crisis, leave the recession. Most business owners do not do these things even in the normal times. How many of you agree? If you agree, type down yes in the chat box. Okay, someone has asked me a question saying that, what do you do with such few business owners who like to poke nose in everything and doesn't allow to grow? We'll talk about it. Yes, so most of you agree, right, that even when there is no lockdown, no crisis, no recession, most business owners don't do these things, right? Most business owners do not do these things even in the normal times, because even in normal time, what most business owners are doing, most business owners are only running between sales and operation, sales and operation, sales and operation. That's it. Remember, I said this, business is like a wheel which has spokes, and if the spokes are broken, then we lose the balances, ladies and gentlemen. But if the spokes are not there, just imagine that you don't have these spokes. If the spokes are missing, then it is not a wheel, it's a hollow tire. Ladies and gentlemen, the economic crisis does not kill small businesses. The lack of business management knowledge of business owners in building a business kills the businesses. If you agree with this, type down agree in the chat box. Yeah. Okay, let me repeat. Someone said just repeat. So said that economic crisis does not kill small businesses. The lack of business management knowledge of the business owners in building business kills their businesses. Someone is clapping. Thank you. Okay, so these are the 2+7 functions that you have. Okay, and this is the BIZO model. Your one-stop solution. I have given you two fundamental items, vision and vision, that you need to work on. Okay, and 7 activities with the goals. 7 activities with the goals. You understanding my point? 7 activities with the goals. So your marketing, the goal is lead generation. Your sales, the goal is revenue generation. Operations, goal is value creation and customer happiness. Accounts, accuracy, compliance, error-free reporting or insights. R&D, new products and new services. Human resources, recruitment, employee happiness, employee development. And the management, that is you. Your job is to give clarity. Your job is to do performance acceleration. And the third goal is strategic growth. Now, let me show you what kind of entrepreneurs that we usually see. The type of business owners. Okay, there are 3 types of business owners. Okay, the first type is cantrepreneurs. The next one is wanapreneurs, and the third ones are entrepreneurs. Now, what is cantrepreneurs? Entrepreneurs are those business owners who say that I cannot do it. Okay, it cannot be done by me. Okay, the wanapreneur says that I want to do it, Milind, but I don't know. I cannot do it. I don't know how to do it. They say that it's very simple, but don't know why it's not happening. They are wanapreneurs. And the third type of business owners are the entrepreneurs who learns what to do and does it and get it done. They focus on vision and consistent actions. Okay, most of the business owners, they oscillate between the entrepreneurs and wanapreneurs because they want to do so many things, but they don't know, either they don't know how to do it. If they know how to do it, they don't want to do it. And if they want to do it, they don't know when to start. Okay, so these are the 3 types of business owners you will see around. Entrepreneurs, they cannot do it. Wanapreneurs, they want to do it but does not happen. And the entrepreneurs who actually learns on how to do it, right, and how to get it done. They have a clear focus and on vision and consistent action. Okay, so so the big question is that by now all of you may have that Milind, I understand all this thing all great. I can see this, I can see myself on this slide. What do I do to change? I would like to know what changes I need to bring. I can tell this, most entrepreneurs, as I said, they oscillated between the wanapreneurs and entrepreneurs. Okay, now so we, in the second part, I'll tell you what to do, how to go about it. So guys, ladies and gentlemen, let's take, I'm just stopping the screen sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick 5 minutes break is from now. Are you all with me? Let's take 5 minutes strategic break, because after this break, I'm going to start with something which is very exciting and very new for all of you, right? Let's take a 5 minutes break. Okay, do you have a question? May I know what is BIZO stands for? Business Zoom Out. Someone asked me, what do you mean by BIZO? Business Zoom Out. When I said that business zoom out, that means you need to see from larger perspective. You need to see 2 and 7 together. We'll work on it. All right. Okay, so in India, it's precisely 7:43. Let's come back by 7:48. So it's 5 minutes from now. Let's come back in precisely 5 minutes. Thank you very much. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the second part of the business DNA workshop. And so far, we've been, talking about the changes. We talked about, one big mistake all the entrepreneurs make, and then we talked when we went to the important aspects of your business, and we talked about Miss Goa Wami V framework. From there, we went to about the vision and mission. Then we talked about the marketing, the sales, the goals of marketing, the goals of sales. Then we talked about the operations, where the goals are, value creation and customer happiness. From there, we moved to accounts and finance, where we talked about the three important goals: accuracy, compliance, and error-free reporting or insights. Then, a couple of you been asking me in the break about the R&D, about offering new services and new products. From there, we went to the human resources, and we talked about the goals of human resources. And from there, the last important aspect that we talked about is the management. And as you all agreed, that management is your role. The management is business owner's role. And there are three important goals of the management: clarity, performance acceleration, and business growth. So that's and then we talked about the three types of business owners: the entrepreneurs, wanapreneurs, and entrepreneurs, where we said that entrepreneurs say that I cannot do it, or it cannot be done by me. Wanapreneurs want to do it but don't know how to do it or why it's not happening. And the entrepreneurs who actually learns what to do and does it and get it done, and they have clear focus on their vision and their consistent actions. So far we have talked about this, ladies and gentlemen. Now the second part of this workshop, where I'm going to talk about the business goals. What kind of business goals that you should have. What kind of basics that we need to work on. What kind of key changes that business owners needs to make. So these are some of the things that we are going to talk about in this second part. But before that, before I actually get into this, if you have any questions, or if you feel that you have learned a lot so far, write a lot into the chat box. If you have learned a lot into so far in this 1.5 hours, write down a lot in the chat box. Thank you. Yes, there is a lot of things yet to come. Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Dimir. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to share my screen once again, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely. Thank you. All right. I'm just sharing my screen once again. Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, just type yes in the chat box. Tasneem, I'm sorry, but this is the live workshop. We are not recording it, so I will not be able to give you a copy. I will definitely, I'll give you an opportunity to connect with me at the end of this workshop. I'll give you a way of, being in touch with me. I'll help you, that how you can be in touch with me. But no, we are not recording this for sure. Right? If you have any questions, you can put it into the chat box, and I would love to answer that. Okay, so business DNA workshop, and we're going to talk about it. All right, so as of now, we'll see that what key changes you as a business owner need to make. Okay, and then what are the key focus areas that you have. Okay, so what key changes for the business growth, right? So we are going to talk about it: business models, the way you market, and the management. Okay. All right, so the first focus area for making changes in this business market, okay, in this business market, Everybody write this down, okay? And I'll break it down for you, okay? So let's get started with the first aspect of the change, which is the business model that needs to be changed to grow our business in this era, okay? So now here I want all of us to understand, okay? For a lot of businesses, the rules of businesses have changed, okay? The rules of the marketplace has changed. How many of you have experienced that in your business, that the way businesses used to operate before COVID, it's not the way the businesses are now? If you have experienced that, write down experience in the chat box. If you have experienced that the businesses, the way it's operating, it's changed. If you have experienced that, write down experience in the chat box. Absolutely. Okay. So now, how many of you experience that your business has direct impact of COVID, in your business? If it's you, then write down me in the chat box. Yeah. Okay. Many of you. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And okay. So now what I want you to consider is, just for your business to grow, the key is to have a profitable and scalable business model. How many of you agree that? Now look at these two words. Firstly, the business model should be profitable. Okay, business model should be profitable. Okay, and then we'll talk about all the business threats and everything. Okay, we have a lot of things to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. Okay, so the business model should be profitable. Otherwise, there is no point of doing the business, right? Secondly, the business model should be scalable, which means you don't become an entrepreneur to build something which is small. Absolutely. Someone says business model should be sustainable. Absolutely, I agree. Okay, so as I said that you don't become an entrepreneur to build something that is small. You don't do that, because if it's small, then it's like a very small place that you want to operate, right? See, I'll tell you a big mistake a lot of people make when they become entrepreneurs, especially corporate professionals. When they quit their job and start a business, the mindset is, as long as I can replace my salary income through my business, I am fine. If any of you have you had this mindset, when you started your business, you still have that mindset, type down me in the chat box. Yes. Yeah. So a lot of, yes. So yeah, someone said that 60,000 is something which I was expecting, and now if I get this, all right. So if that is no, if that is the mindset, ladies and gentlemen, we need to work on it. Okay. From the income mindset to the business mindset. Okay. I'm telling you that this is the wrong approach of building a business. Okay. Because I want all of you to understand one thing: a job is for income generation. Okay, the job is for income generation. Okay, and a person takes up a job because they want to have a consistent monthly income. Business is not for consistent monthly income. Business is for wealth creation. Okay, so the job is for the income generation, and the business is for the wealth creation. So business is for you to create abundance and wealth for yourself. And in a job, no matter how hard you work, there is going to be a limitation of your growth. There is going to be a limitation of the speed of your growth. But in business, it's not like that. Business is a wealth creation exercise. Okay, if a business owner is working with the mindset that I need to manage my expenses every month, and I need to pay myself, like I need to be able to take some money home every month, then what ends up happening is they limit the scalability of their business. They limit the scalability of the business. They don't look at how can I make this scalable business, how can I make this a business that lasts beyond me. So what I want all of you to understand today in your business, that you need to start asking yourself this question: Yes, thank you, Tasneem. Right. So you need to start asking yourself this question: that is my business model profitable? Okay, is my business model profitable? Am I making a good amount of money to fulfill my goals, to fulfill my aspirations, and am I consistently growing? Okay, so profitability is one aspect. The other is, is my model scalable? Is my business model scalable? Can this grow beyond me? Can this grow without me? Can this grow beyond the city or the location that we are working in? Can this have a larger reach? Okay, now if the business is not profitable and scalable, what ends up happening is that it's a lot of hard work for a very little return. How many of you feel that sometimes that you are working really hard but you are not getting the rewards and the results in the proportion that, the proportion of the work that you are putting into your business? If you feel like this, just put me in the chat box that you put a lot of efforts but the returns are small. Yes, many. All right. Right. So the key is to firstly look at what changes can be made in a business model to make it more profitable and make it more scalable. Okay, now for me, let me share it with you. How do you think about, changing your business model? What I want you to do is to participate in this exercise that is called threat analysis. Okay, this exercise is called threat analysis. What do I mean by threat analysis? I'm going to be giving all of you three questions or three thoughts. Okay, and I would like to do this. Okay, I would like you to answer these three questions after this training along with your business partners and along with your team members to identify what are the possible threats you can have as a business. Because when you analyze the threats to your profitability and scalability, that's when you are able to prepare yourself to handle those threats. And that's when you are building a foolproof business so that you can make it profitable and scalable. So while I'm going to give you these three questions right now, please understand the context. Okay, so I want to give you this threat analysis framework, because of which a lot of businesses have, because of this, they have not done the analysis and the businesses have died. And they don't prepare themselves for this threat that I'm going to talk about. Okay, so here is the first one. Okay, everybody write this down. Okay, write this down. Okay, the first kind of threat that we have is the disruption threat. Disruption threat. Okay, the first kind of threat is called a disruption threat. Next to the disruption, put a question: will any technology or alternate option replace the way my customers consumes my products or services? Okay, yes, I'll repeat it once again. Okay, next to the disruption threat, write this down: will any technology or alternate option replace the way my customer consumes my product or my services? Okay, let me give you a couple of examples where businesses thought that they are no one can replace them, and they do not exist today. Okay, the biggest example that we can talk about is Nokia. Okay, they do exist today. One time, there was a time when they had 95% of the market share. Ladies and gentlemen, 95% of market share. Okay, and then they did not see this disruption threat, where they did not know that any new technology, they did not adopt this, the Android as in, their operating system. They wanted to have their own Symbian operating system, and the world moved towards operating system like Android, and then they collapsed. They are still trying to come back, but they have less than 2% market share today. Okay, if I can give you another example, is the Kodak. The Kodak, who used to make cameras and the films. They did not see the disruption threat, and where they are today. They had almost 60 to 70% market share in that business, and they did not analyze the disruption threat. Okay, so I want you to do some deep thinking by yourself, ladies and gentlemen, and also deep brainstorming with your business partners and your team. Okay, and make a list of what could be possible technologies or alternate options that can replace the way our customers consume the products or the services that we offer today. And when you are doing this deep thinking and deep brainstorming with your team, tell your team that it is okay for us to think negative and challenge our own business. Let us come up with what can disrupt our business. And once we are able to come up with the list of things that could disrupt our own business, that could disrupt the way our consumer, the way this technology can disrupt, we will be at least preparing ourselves to do something, which we'll talk about it. Okay, so then once you have the list ready, you can do one of the two things. One, looking at the list, you prepare a plan to safeguard yourself from the disruption, which is what a lot of business owners they do. Okay, if you are not able to come up with the plan to safeguard yourself from this disruption, then start looking for maybe another business, or look for an option where you are the one who's disrupting the business. Ladies and gentlemen, I work with thousands of entrepreneurs, and I'll tell you the biggest reason why entrepreneurs feel stuck in their business, or they keep saying business is going down because market is going down, and it's because they do not step up. They are not making any changes. Everybody agrees that change is the constant, change is the only constant thing, but they do not relate it with their business. When the moment to change actually happens, most people don't change, and they behave like a helpless victim. If you agree, they behave like helpless victim. They behave like a sincere, honest soul who got cheated by God, and who got cheated by destiny, who got cheated by fate. I want you to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. When it comes to business, we have to be in touch with the realities. If our customer is getting better option, obviously they will go for a better or easier option with them. The second thread that you have on the screen is called value thread. Now, what do we mean by value thread, ladies and gentlemen? The question you need to answer, that at what level and priority, okay, at what level of priority the spending money on my product or services come for my consumer or a customer. Okay, at what level of priority does spending money on my products or services comes to my customer? Is my product or service a value product or a value service, or is my product or service is a vanity product or a service? Understand this. Okay, I want you to understand this. Look, one of the biggest traps business owner gets into, that they get so much in love with their products and their services that they lose the objectivity. They lose the whole objectivity. Yes, right. I'm going to say, something that, that may sound controversial to you, but please understand the intention. Your products and services are your, like your parents. You look at them like a god, but you forget that sometimes even they have their flaws. Even they are humans. Okay, even they have certain behaviors and characteristics that may not be that healthy. So your products and services are like that because you love your products and services so much that sometimes you forget to see the flaws in your products and services. Okay, so what I want you to do this is to use this question to develop objectivity about your own service or product offering, and start thinking from a customer's point of view. Right, look at your customer, whoever your ideal customer is. Look at their income, look at their lifestyle, look at their behaviors, and evaluate at what level of priority they are spending money on your products and your services. The third thing, for some of the people, that change takes time. I understand that, and they said that, Milind, it's not easy. I can't change overnight, but I have I have to sustain. So if you have to sustain, and while you are planning for the changes, the third thing you should do, if your value, if you value your market you need to market yourself aggressively. Okay, someone is messaging threat analysis seems to be a derivative of Porter's five forces. Agree, which I like because it's a good approach to understand the external forces. I agree with you. I agree with you. Okay, so the next important thing is to market more yourself more aggressively. Okay, that's the third thing you need to do, and I'll tell you why you should market yourself more aggressively. See, if you agree, every business has a certain circle of influence, or a certain reach in the market. Yes or no? Every business has a certain circle of influence and certain reach in the market. Now, what ends up happening is we are doing business in our reach itself. I'm saying market yourself beyond your circle of influence. Market yourself into new geographies. Market yourself, through new channel partners. Market yourself through new segments. Market yourself into new industries that you have never targeted. Market yourself more aggressively. The mistakes people make when they feel business is going down is that they give up. It's not the time to give up, ladies and gentlemen. It's the time to grow up. It's the time to go beyond what you have done. If you are the sort of person who's thinking about sentiments of market, you're forgetting the fundamentals. The fundamental is this: consumption is always happening. Somebody is spending money on some products or services somewhere, either from you or from someone else. The question is why they are not buying from you. Consumption is always happening. People said that, automobile industry is going to get disrupted. Now nobody will buy cars. Look at the, some of the big brands. There are, once you book, there is a waiting for 3 to 4 months. So people are buying, ladies and gentlemen, people are buying. We use these self-defeating statements of business that, businesses have gone down, this to support probably our own laziness. If you're learning something good here, just write down that learning in the chat box, ladies and gentlemen. If you're learning something, write down learning in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Now let's go to the third threat analysis, which is on the screen, which is the ROI threat. Okay. What do I mean by ROI threat? The question which you need to ask here is, how healthy are my business margins? Okay. Yeah. ROI stands for return on investment. Yeah. And those of you have been in business for a long time, would you agree that over last 5 to 7 years, most businesses are doing business just for turnover and with the reduced margins? If you agree with that, write down agree in the chat box. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So many of you are saying that. Okay, so someone said agree and don't agree. I'm sure you have your own reasons for that, but yeah, most of you are saying that agree, and a lot of businesses are doing business, as I said, for the higher turnover, so they can get related benefits. Okay, so everybody's selling. Yeah, someone said everybody's selling is a lower margin. So now I want you to consider this. I really want all of you to understand this. What you need to understand firstly is, what is the primary purpose of the business? The primary purpose of business is return on business. ROI is to return on investment. Yeah, ROI is return on investment. So that's what it means. The primary purpose of business is to make profits, right? It's not turnover, it's profits. Okay, that's the primary purpose of business, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when you lose the focus on the primary objective of profitability, then what happens is you fall into a trap of doing a rotation based business. I heard business owners say that something is better than nothing, and therefore they reduce their margins and offer the business owners they offer at the lower margins, and then they feel helpless, and then they say, Milind, I don't like doing business like this, but I want to do what to do. There's so much of competition in the market. Everybody's undercutting the prices, so we also have to do the same thing. Now I want you to understand this, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, firstly, understand the world of business. I'll make a statement and tell me if you agree. You cannot make the same profit margins selling the same products or the same service for a long time. Okay, I'm repeating this. You cannot make the same profit margin selling the same products or the same services for the long time. How many of you agree with this statement? Right. Yeah, thank you. Right. So you've seen this, happening in any market. You cannot make the same profit margins selling the same products or a same service for a long time. So what do I mean by that? I'm talking about the longevity. Listen to this carefully. The longevity of profitability. You may want to write this down. Okay, I'll explain you this later. Okay, the longevity of profitability in business is reducing, which means, yes, I'll repeat that. Longevity of profitability in businesses are reducing, which means if you had started your business in 1980, you could make the same profit selling the same product for same services for at least 20 years, less competitions. The next scenario, if you have started your business in the year, let's say 2000, you could make the same profit, selling the same products with the same margin for about 10 years. If you have started something in 2010, you could make the same profit margin selling the same product or same services for 5 to 7 years. Now, what's happening now? In this era, this years, this number has come down to 2 to 3 years. Why? Because the amount of competition is increasing, ladies and gentlemen. Information is more accessible to people. Customers have more options, and technology is disrupting business. Okay, it's disrupting, it's not distracting. Okay, it's not destructing, it's disrupting. Okay, so please understand this. Because of these factors, longevity of profitability is reducing, which means what adaptability of a business owners has to increase in adding new products, new services, new channels, new markets, new segments, new geography, new innovations to stay relevant and profitable. I'm repeating this. Okay, your adaptability has to increase to stay relevant and profitable. If your adaptability is not increasing, then you will become a victim of your own comfort zone. Okay, so I really wanted to challenge, challenge yourself and think that whether you can create something new or not. Okay, so these are the three threat analysis we had. That I wanted to do deep thinking on this after this workshop. Drill down, talk to your team members, do brainstorming with your business partners and your team members, come up with the list, and I have given you solutions. If you have disruption threat, either plan and prepare to safeguard yourself from the disruption, or change your business, or be the one who's disrupting your business. Okay, if you have a value threat, change the target customers who value your products, or change the products and services to offer to your existing target customers, so they so that they value the new products and services and be more aggressive in your marketing, ladies and gentlemen. If you have ROI threat, the return on investment threat, firstly explore new products and new services. Be the person who is innovating. Okay, be the person who is innovating, getting new ideas, new products. So create new products and services as a differentiator. Market yourself more aggressively. Okay, I tell you, people don't bargain with brands. I'm sure do you agree that people don't bargain with brands, the big brands? If you agree, just type down agree in the chat box. Yeah. So most of you agree that people don't bargain with brands. People bargain with non-brands. So market yourself and build a brand, and always be profit conscious. Okay. Now the second focus. Yeah, thank you. Right. The next focus area, which is very important, once you have clear, profitable, scalable business model, the second, we already talked about it, it's a marketing. So now what do I mean by marketing? So we talked about marketing, in the marketing, we said the lead generation is your goal. Please understand this. Marketing is different from sales. I'm telling you, the first function is marketing, second function is sales. Marketing generates leads, sales generates revenue. Okay, write down this in your notebook. It brings you inquiry. Marketing is activities that generates leads for you. It generates inquiries. Okay. I tell this to entrepreneurs that you need to focus on proactive, consistent marketing. You need to take consistent action in your business to generate new and fresh inquiries for your business. So because, don't, as we already said, that don't depend just on the word of mouth, referral marketing. So yeah, you can, yeah, someone said that it's an additional thing. It works. I'm not against word of mouth referral, right? So you treat word of mouth referral like a bonus. So when it comes, it's nice to have. Okay, so you got to be proactive in marketing. Now when you are talking about marketing, I want to make a note of these two statements. Okay, I'm going to give you these two statements. Number one statement: storytellers will rule the world. Write down, ladies and gentlemen. The story statement number one: storytellers will rule the world. Number two: educators and entertainers will rule the world. Write this down. The first statement: storytellers will rule the world. Number two: educators and entertainers will rule the world. Now listen this carefully. Okay, in business today, the person who is who's good in telling story of how they have made a difference in their clients is the one who attracts more such clients. Because when people listen to the story, they say that, hey, that's my story. Wow, this person has been able to help such clients. So what do I mean by storytelling? How many of you have, how, so okay, give me an answer. How many of you have happy customers? If you have happy customers, write down me in the chat box. So many of you, yes. All right, so now I have another question. Okay, I have another question. If your customers are happy, do you talk about your happy customers? Okay, do you share their success stories? Are you sharing the case studies? Are you sharing the testimonials of your happy clients? Yes or no? Right? So someone says sometimes. Sometimes is not an answer. If either you're doing or you're not doing, right? Are you sharing your customers' happy success stories? Do you share the case studies with for your marketing? Do you do that? If you do that, just type down yes. If you don't do that, type down no. Don't write sometimes. Either it's yes or it's no. No. Okay. So yeah, good. If someone says yes, if customers are also, we'll talk about it. Okay. So now please understand this. Okay, you haven't done it. Okay, some of you have not done it. Some of you have been doing it. Someone said that what if the customer doesn't allow? I'll talk about it. Okay, so please understand this. The most powerful way of attracting new customers is to showcase how have you helped other customers. Okay, and you got to tell stories. I'm not saying create stories. I'm telling you, tell them this true stories. You need to do the success story. You need to do case studies. You need to do testimonials, ladies and gentlemen, from the clients, either in a video format or a written format. Either you make videos of the success stories, or in the writing form you create success stories. Storytellers will never know, storytellers are the people who will always be the one who's going to rule the world. Someone says that, I'm into B2B business. Some of our clients are not comfortable sharing their identity, right? No problem. If they are not comfortable sharing their identity, you create a case study, write up, in such a way that you talk about the industry and not the name of the company. So let's say about a lead. So you may want to say this, okay, that this is about leading many automobile manufacturer from Germany. They had this problem. When they had this problem, these are the things they tried. It did not work from them. Then they met us. We understood their requirement, and this is what we did for them. And when we did this for them, this is the result they could produce, and this is what they have to say. Right? You do not have to take their names. Remember, you need to be consistent in putting out case studies, testimonials, and success stories of your happy customers. The other aspect is these educators and entertainers will rule the world. What do I mean by this? One is putting out success stories and case studies of your happy clients. That's what we talked about first. The other thing is educating people in your segment, educating people in your sector, making videos where you are talking about not your products and services. Okay. See, nobody's interested in watching products and promotional videos because there are enough of that in the on the social media. You have seen those products and promotional videos too. Today we live in the era of social media, ladies and gentlemen. So these products and promotion videos starts with a logo bouncing with the music coming and then a star. You know what? People are done with this. They understand this. Okay. People are more interested in education, in learning stuff, or being entertained rather than the products that you're going to talk about. If you're an architect or an interior designer, talk about the design principles. Talk about the latest trends. Talk about the latest trends that we have in the market. You need to give the value to people. When you educate people, then people look at you as an expert. People want to get associated with you, ladies and gentlemen. So I have an architect. You can go on Instagram and check this architect Arpita. Okay, young architect. She does Instagram videos and lot of content. Okay, what she talks about is design, functionality, sustainability. She talks and gives lot of value. Just because she does so many videos consistently, here is what's happening with us. She closes 4 deals every month only through Instagram. Being a young architect, she does that. And I know there are senior architects in the same business who look at all these videos and they are like, nowadays all these young people, they are sitting and doing these videos like this. So I'm just telling you that you don't say that you don't have capabilities or capacity or confidence or the willingness to do this. You need to innovate. You need to come up with something where you educate people. Okay, you cannot say that I cannot do it because I don't know how to do it. Otherwise you are a entrepreneur. Okay, I know an electrical engineer, electrical contractor. He is my client who is doing the webinars, and there are other electrical contractors who look at him and criticizing things. What on all these webinars and all. He does webinars on best practices electrical in electrical contracting. He has been able to close clients from various parts of the countries because people look at him as an expert because he is there in within them. Is there on all the social media. So you are educating in your industry, or if you're entertaining in your industry, you know you have better chance of progressing. Now so I'll tell you another I'll give another example. Okay, I have a client in based out of India and in Pune. So they are into retail business. They're into the ladies retail business. During this lockdown, the businesses went down for first 3 months. After that, they started, and they were like, the people are still not coming, even after the lockdown was open. So what did they do? They created this backdrop in one of their walls. Okay, and then they said the winner of the month, and every person, every lady that come to the store, on the billing counter, the person who's on the billing counter said that, ma'am, you take a picture with this wall and put it on your Instagram or your Facebook or your LinkedIn. At the end of the month, the lady with the maximum likes and comments, they will win. Now see what's going to happen. The moment that lady comes out of that shop, she start sending WhatsApp message with the photo saying that, like this. So at the end of the month, they announce the winner. Okay, now this one lady has already given so much publicity, so much marketing to this shop, and they have revived their business. And so this is one of the things that they have done. They like this. We help them doing so many things where they could revive their business now. Okay, listen, gentlemen, if you are let's say you are from the manufacturing business, build a community or an association on maybe online at this. So I have this client who is based out of Florida. His name is Sedu Bhatia. He's into the die casting business. His target market is, automobile company across Europe and US. And he runs this die casting company called, I forgot the name, Saga something. Okay, and so he has this, manufacturing unit in India. Okay, what he does, he creates videos. And this is what he started before 2 years. Okay, he creates videos and put it on the social media, and he targets only those people who want the same business. Now, see what has happened. He has become a person who has been expert, okay, into that business. So now, when Sethu travels to US to meet his, his business or the prospect, people know him. He has created this online, community of die casting, business owners, and he is a president of that. So when he goes to, Europe or US for a prospect, he, people welcome him because he's a president. So the people who were not even responding to his calls for the marketing purpose before, now they're inviting him. So now just see the difference, from creating these associations and, this forums, this guy is making a lot of money. Okay, right. So that is the second. The third focus area that we have on the screen is the management, and we already talked about the management, right? So the three fundamentals of the, three goals of the management that we already talked about. Okay, all right. Now, what we are going to talk about is, so we talked about the key changes. We are going to talk about something called business goals, strategic business goals. Because for all of this, when you do all of this, if you do not have business goal, no matter how much efforts you put, it's going in vain. Okay. So to have business goal, what is the objective? It should be holistic, scientific, and your business goal should be backed up by data. Guys, if you have any question, you can just put it in the chat box. Okay, we are starting a new thing here. Okay, so we are talking about the business goals. Okay, what is goal setting? Now, a lot of people say that goal setting is done by, only for the personal lives or the financial things. Goal setting can be done in any business. And why it is important to do goal setting? It is important to do a goal setting. If you remember the example that I give under Miss Govami, that if you do not have goals, you will not know that where you're going. Okay, I have a customer who is into the travel luggage business. They're in the travel luggage business. Okay, when I met them and I asked them what is your turnover, they said that we don't know, but we take money whenever we want. Okay, they came to me because the business was going down, right? Because they did not know that, where they were heading. No accounts, as I said, that no accuracy in the accounts. They did not know whether they were going down or the businesses went flat. Who should do it? All the business owners should do the business goal setting exercise. Okay, make the SMART goals. SMART is an acronym for being specific, being measurable. The goal should be specific, the goal should be measurable, the goal should be attainable, it should be relevant or realistic, and time bound. Okay, now let me tell you what is specific. When I say that, so most of the business owners, they have only finance goals. Okay, so they say that I want to do good this, I want to do good, I want to do better than last year. Now you need to be very specific that, what is better in your language. You need to be very specific that, okay, last year I was at X turnover, this year I want to do maybe 2X. Okay, now when you become specific, it's easy for you to become measurable. The goals will be measurable because now you have a number. Also, your goal should be attainable. When I say attainable, that means it should be something which you can actually do. If your goal is, let's say, if your turnover is, let's say, 100 million dollars. Okay, and if you say that for next year I want to do 500 millions, do you think that with the same strategy and the same operation and the same people you can do it? The answer is no. Okay, so if you do not want to change all of this, you need to understand that From 100 million, you can go to maybe 120 or maybe 130. Okay. So it depends on the what kind of business you are in. The R stands for relevant. So your goal should be relevant to your business, right? Not relevant to your wishes and dreams. And it should have a deadline attached. If your goals do not have deadline, ladies and gentlemen, it is just a dream. It is just a dream. So your goal should have a time, your goal should be time bound. Okay. We talked about owner dependency and action consistency already. Just a minute. All right. So now there are 5 types of goals that any businesses can have. There are 5 types of goals that any businesses can, rather should have. The first goal is the financial goal. And under, so the first goal is financial goal. Under financial goals, we may have the revenue goals, we may have a cash flow goals, we should have the profitability goals, and we should have the goal to increase the personal income. Okay, so these are the 4 goals that we should have for the financial goals. Okay, you need to pick any 2 if you want to really set the goals in a very strategic manner. You need to start with 2, eventually add the third and the fourth one. Okay, so increase revenue, improve cash flows, increase profitability, and increase personal income. This can be a part of your financial goal. So if you want to set your financial goals, you need to have answers that what revenue that I want to increase, and for that you need to have your your data for the current year and maybe past year. When I talk about the improved cash flows, you need to have data about in what is the cycle for your payment, what is the cycle for the receivables. Increase the profitability, you need to know at what percentage margin you are doing a business and what percentage of margin that you're looking at. Increase personal income, this is something which most of the business owners say they feel proud of, that I don't take income but I ensure that I pay my people. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not something which you should be proud of. You need to work on increasing personal income. You need to pay yourself consistently. Okay, so this is the first goal of any business. This is the first strategic goal, the financial goal. The next goal is the customer goal or the sales goal. The customer or the sales goal could be new market or the new products and services. When we talk about new markets, it's what new city, state, or countries, or what new segments or industries or domain that you wish to have your business expanded to. New products and services, what kind of product that you wish to introduce, and what kind of services, and when do you want to do it. A lot of people say that, Milind, I have this idea, I want to start this. And I always say that, put it in the SMART goals. Tell me when do you want to do it. And they were like, I want to do it, but I don't have a time. So unless you put it under your goal sheet, it is not going to be there in your agenda. It is always be your dream to start, your dream to do it. Okay, so your customer goal, it should be new market and new products or new services. The third type of goal is a functional goal, where we talked about sales, marketing, operations, accounts, human resource, and management. This is a part of the BISO model. We at Confepro, we do a 1 full day business goal setting workshop, where a lot of business owners, they come, they join us, and at the end of the workshop, they go with their business goals for the year that is coming. Okay, so for all the goals I'm talking about, the financial goal, the customer goals, the functional goals, and the other 2 goals I'm going to talk about. Okay, so your functional goals are your sales, your marketing, your operations, your accounts, your human resource, and management. Okay, so here you need to set goals. So this is what, so we'll be talking about it. So sales, marketing, operation, accounts, human resources, and management. The fourth goal, very important goal, is your team goal. What kind of capacity that you want to build, what kind of people that you want to build, what kind of hiring that you wish to have, what is the hierarchy of your business. The next one is the competence, building the first and the second line of leaders. What are the people development goals, how to develop people, how do you train your people. So these are your goals. The third one is your culture goal. Your culture goal could be creating a culture charter, resolving conflicts, giving clarity of career and financial growth. So these are some of the goals for the team. So capacity, competence, and the culture are three goals for the team. Then now the last one is the goal number 5, which is the learning goals. Now, so far, whatever we've been talking about, even in the BISO model, we talked about various functions, we talked about creating visions, we talked about creating milestones, the values, the mission, the strategy, the achievement tracking. If you have been noting it down, and if you think that you do not know something, that first thing should go under your learning goal. Okay, you need to see what is possible, what is impossible, because it's all about, it's all mind conditioning. If we think that something cannot happen, trust me, it's not going to happen. Trust me, right? I'm not saying that everything in the world is possible for you, but whatever is in your control is possible for you. Okay, impossible is not equal to I do not know. Ladies and gentlemen, impossible is not equal to I do not know. I do not know. If you think there is something which you do not know, either you may want to outsource it, or you may want to learn it. Okay. And on the learning goals, we have top 3 skills for business success. The first one is learning for yourself, teaching or mentoring or training. The third one is the selling. Okay. Now, so I was talking about the mindset. So learning, teaching, and selling are the 3 most important, skills that business owners should have. Okay, someone is still entering. Okay, now I'm going to give you a story. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to probably close your eyes and just be here. Okay, just close your eyes and be here. I want to give you a story. I want to tell you a story. Okay. Just imagine that, there is this big forest. Okay, at the little outside of this city, there's a big forest, and this forest has this wolf. Okay, and this wolf has very beautiful eyes. It has the blue eyes. Now, next to the forest, there's this house of a hunter. Okay, so it's a house, it's like more of a farmhouse for this hunter. So the hunter goes to the forest for hunting, obviously, and he sees this wolf. Okay, so what he does, he takes his gun out, and he points towards the wolf, and he from the glass of the gun, he sees that this wolf has very beautiful eyes. So that's he thinks that, okay, instead of killing this wolf, let me take it back with me, and I'll show it to my family, I'll show it to my kids, and probably I'll sell it to the circus. So what he does, instead of putting a bullet in the gun, he put that injection where he can make this wolf unconscious. Ladies and gentlemen, just put this story in your mind. Okay, so what he does, he put this wolf unconscious. He shoots that injection. Once he does that, he goes close to it and see whether the wolf is conscious or not. Once he realizes that the wolf is not conscious, what he does, he lift this heavy wolf, okay, and put it in the backside of the truck that he had carried. He drives down. He drives then back to the his farmhouse, and in the backyard of the farmhouse, he has created this small circle, circle in the ground. And this circle is, he has put all the fence. You understand, there is this circle, there's this land, and he has put in the fence in the circle, and he puts the wolf in the center, and this fences has the electricity, so it cannot, the wolf cannot go out. Now look what happens. After 4 or 5 hours, this wolf comes back to the consciousness, and he realized that this is not the forest that he was into. So what he does, You know, he moved forward. He moved forward, and he touches the fence. And what happens? There's a shock. So he realized that moving forward is not helping. Then he goes into right direction. Again, he touches the fence, and what happens? He gets the shock. He realized that this is not the direction that I should go in. Then he goes into the left direction, thinking that probably this from this side I'll escape. He touches the and fence. I'm sorry, and again there's a shock. So he realized that going front or right or left is not helping. So let me go back. You know, so he goes back. Okay, slowly and gradually he goes back, and it touches the fence, and again it's not a surprise. Again he got a shock. So he said that, okay, probably today is not the day when I could go out. Let me sleep in the this fence. I'll try tomorrow. The next day he gets up with a lot of enthusiasm, think that today is the day when I'll go back to the forest. So again he tries, he goes forward, touches the fence, and he realized that, oh, there's a shock. He said, okay, let me try in the right. He goes in the right, touches the fence, again there's a shock. He goes in the left, touches the fence, there's a shock. And again, he thinks that maybe today, there is no shock, there is no current in the back side. So he goes in the back, and, out of his surprise, there was a shock. He says, okay, probably not today. So he tried third day, fourth day, next week, third week, fourth week, fifth week. He observes that this hunter gets his family, his friends to see this wolf with the beautiful eyes, but he's not able to go out. 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and then comes the monsoon. Now, see this. There's a heavy rain, and the rain falls on this fence, and what happens? The short circuit. Okay, the short circuit happens, and the wolf is still in the center. It's raining. Okay, but now wolf understands that every time it goes in the front, left, or back, there's a short circuit. Due to this heavy rainfall, the short circuit happens in the fence, and it loses out the electricity from that. Okay, after 3 or 4 days, the rain stops, and the wolf stands up saying that there's nothing has changed. There is still. So he just stays there. He just stays there. After 4 or 5 days, when he's sitting in the center of this circle, he sees something outside the fence, and when he sees that there is a snake out there, and wolves are very scared of snakes, by the way. Okay, so he realized that there's a snake out there, but it is the other side of the fence. So he said that I'm safe, because if the snake try to come in, the snake is going to get shot. So he just stays there. Okay, and then he sees that the snake is coming, coming towards the fence, and then the snake actually entered the grounds. And then he realized that maybe because the snake came from underneath the fences, that's why probably it did not get a shock. Okay, so now he's still standing in the center, and the snake coming towards this wolf. Okay, the snake comes very close to wolf, and then he realized that it's actually there, and wolves are really scared of snakes. So what happens? He start going back. He start going back. The snake is approaching him. He's still going back. This wolf is going back. Is going back. Is going back. Now he touches the fence. He touches the fence, and he realizes that there is no electricity in it. So what he does? He jumps out of the fence. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, we need to have the wolves of our mindset, jumping out of the fence. You need to understand, it's all here. It's all our mindset which is not letting us grow. Okay, you need to understand that as a business owner, your learning never ends. Your learning never ends. You need to have your wolf, your mind, jump out of the fence of your own restrictions that you have created. You have created so many restrictions for yourself that probably you're not able to let your mind jump. Your wolf is not able to jump, right? So ensure that you try. You may fail, you try, you fail, you try once again, you try third time, you try fourth time, you try fifth time, but you need to ensure that your wolf jumps out of it. Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about 5 goals, and the fifth goal is a learning goal. So if you do not know anything, this is the time. This is the time when you should actually put your efforts. You put, and as I've been telling this to all the entrepreneurs, all my clients, saying that if you stop, the day you stop learning, that day you stop growing. Okay, the day you stop learning, that day you stop growing, right? So never stop learning, ladies and gentlemen. Never ever stop learning, because when you stop learning, you do not get new ideas, you do not have new perspective, you have no fresh understanding. Okay, I'm sharing my screen once again where we had stopped. Okay. Yes, Arun, I'm going to give you this opportunity where we can connect for sure. Okay. So, with all these things, let's understand that we need to create systems, we need to create process, we need to create goals, we need to have visions, we need to have a value system in place. Because, see, as I said, that if you are doing a business just to earn or just to make sure that your that particular month is taken care of, that is not the business. You are in a self trap. Okay, you are in a self trap. You are not growing, you are not moving ahead, right? So you need to have a system where you can set track your achieve your business goal. You need to have a system where you know what to train people on. You need to have a system where the system, you don't have to depend on, the business should not depend on you. Rather you should be focusing on the goals that we talked about, the business models that we talked about, the Bezo model, the Bezo model that we talked about. Sorry, this model I'm talking about, right? You need to have a system in place. You need to have a system in place where you can do all such things, right? So this is the Bezo model, ladies and gentlemen. Someone was asking me what is the full stop of Bezo. uh, yes, I'll share that, the tool that I have. Give me a moment, okay? All right. So this is the Bezo model, okay, which is a one-stop solution. If you do this, ladies and gentlemen, this marketing, sales, operation, accounts, R&D, HR, and management is a part of your functional goal. Apart from functional goal, you have 4 more goals. The financial goals, okay, it's not accounts goal, it's the financial goals. You have your customer goals, okay, then you have these 7 functional goals, then you have your team goals, and then you have your learning goals. Ladies and gentlemen, if you can create a system where you can first of all create these goals, the half battle is won. Trust me, I've been helping so many business owners in India, in Africa, in UAE, in Canada, in US, in China, in Singapore, to create their business goals. So one thing is sure, that across all these countries, one thing is common, that if you do not have your business goals, you don't know where you're going. That is for sure. Okay, if you do not have your business goals, you will not be able to move forward. You may be very good at what you do, but if you don't know where to go, how to market, how to create your leads into sales, how to ensure that your customers remains with you and give you referrals, how to ensure that you get new referrals, how to ensure that what your money is doing, whether your money is attracting more money or not, how to ensure whether your customer will buy your products with the same margins that you have, how will you ensure whether you are doing a right recruitment if at all you're into business where you have employees, how will you know that whether you are giving clarity to your people, whether you are doing performance acceleration, or whether giving the strategic growth, right? So the idea is here, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to start focus and take consistent action. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to start focusing on your goals and take consistent action, because if you do not take consistent action, there are chances that your cycle of business may collapse someday. Okay, so uh, yeah, you should have a structure system, and you should have a coach. I'm not saying that I'm the only coach. Go anyone, go with anyone, right? You need to have a coach who can help you build the systems, the coach who can help you give a fresh perspective. Now let me say this again, I'm not saying that I'm the only coach. There are so many people out there. If you resonate with me, work with me. If you do not resonate with me, find someone else. Okay, but don't live under the impression that you can do everything yourself. Okay, if Mark Zuckerberg can have a coach, why should you not? Okay, so to stay focused on your vision and to take consistent action, you need to have system, and you need to have somebody who can keep you on track. How many of you never realize that as a business owner we need accountability, and we need new perspective, we need new knowledge? If you agree with this, agree, type down agree in the chat box, that we need new perspectives. Write down agree if you agree with this. Great. All right, yeah. Okay, and as I said that you need to have a coach. I'm saying I'm not the only one. Find anyone, but have someone. It's as simple as that. So with that, here is the question I have for all of you. Okay, the big question that I have for all of you: how many of you would like me to be your coach to create massive progress in your business? Okay, if you would like me to be your coach, write down me in the chat box. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so because see what I have for those who like my support, I'm gonna share something with you. Okay, for those who like my support, guys, I'm telling you, I don't need your money. I don't need your money. Okay, we have more than 30 businesses that pay us good retainer fees every month. Okay, so we don't need your money, but I'm going to give you an opportunity to use my expertise to grow your business, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and I'll tell you what I've created is this. Kick-ass mastermind module, ladies and gentlemen. What I've created is this kick-ass mastermind module, where on 17th April 2021, that's one of the Saturday and the third Saturday of the month, I'm doing a live session on business goal setting. It's a full day workshop where business owners comes together. They they create their business goal for the year that is approaching. Okay, the second opportunity that I'm giving is, so in this this is going to be the 5 areas that we talked about: accounts and finance, sales functions, team, and learning goals. The second thing that I'm going to give you that one strategy or consultation call up to 1 hour with me during April or the month of May. Okay, this is the second thing, where you can discuss problems to get solution, or you can discuss the strategy that, or the change in the strategy that you are looking at. The third thing, the most important thing, one in-person consultation in Dubai. I'll be there from 4th April to 7th April, the 3rd April to, or rather 4th April to 7th April. This is one opportunity that you have. Okay, so this TCAS Master module have three things. One, a full day workshop where I help you set up your business goals. So at the end of the workshop, you will have your business goals in the 5 areas. One, your finance and accounts goals. Two, your sales, your customer goals. Third, your all functional goals. When I say function, is your marketing, your sales, your operations, your accounts, your human resources, your R&D, and your management. Then comes the team's goal, and the last one is the learning goal. Then one strategy or consultation call for up to 1 hour in the month of April or May. You need to decide. I'll give you a link through which you can book your call, where you can discuss the problem or problem to get solution, or you can discuss the strategy for any changes that you may require. And one in-person consultation in Dubai next week. Okay, so this is the module that we have created. I work with many entrepreneurs in UAE, and I have my yearly mastermind fees. So my yearly mastermind fees, the coaching fee is 60,000 dirhams, and which means it's 5,000 dirhams for 8 hours. Okay, guys, again I'm saying that I'm not looking for your money. Okay, but we also understand that people don't value free stuff. Okay, people don't value stuff for free. So what we are going to do here is to just to have a commitment cost. Okay, the commitment cost of all three things: live business goal setting workshop, this is going to be on Zoom for 8 hours on 17th April, one consultation call up to 1 hour, and one in-person consultation in Dubai. So see this, the cost that I have, you just Google it out, you will see that who I am. You will get to see a lot of information about myself, but for the benefit of the community, for the benefits of the entrepreneurs, because in this time, we want to help the business owners. I'm doing it only and only for 199 dirhams. Ladies and gentlemen, just go and check. I don't give my programs at this cost. I don't give programs at this cost. If you want, it is at 199 dirhams. And how to get it? This is the link. If someone can put a link in the chat box from my team. If someone can put the link in the chat box. Okay, I'll put it. Okay. So here is the link for the payment. Okay, so this is the link. You can, if you want, you can just scan this code. If you want, you can just scan this code and make the payments. Just 199 dirhams, guys, and you get 8 hours of strategic business goal setting workshop, plus one consultation call up to 1 hour, and one in-person consultation in Dubai between 4th and 7th April. That is going to be next week, right? So this is the payment link. Once you do the payment, just let me know. Just write done in the chat box. Meanwhile, I'm open for the questions. If you have any questions, write down in the chat box, and I'll be more than happy to answer. Right, the tool that I've used, that it's called Mind Mode. It's a Mind Mode tool. Yes, so that is going to be a live workshop, ladies and gentlemen. That's not going to be a recorded one. Okay, and yes, at the end of the workshop, you will have your I'm sorry, what you want me to write down? Erican, if you can just repeat what you want me to write it down. The link, it's here. Right. So at the end of the 8 hours live workshop, you will get your business goals. At the end of the workshop, when we are done with the workshop, you will have your business goals created by you with the help of me and my team. One free consultation call, Mind Mode. Okay, one free consultation call and one free, a consulting, in-person consulting in Dubai next week from 4 to 7. Right, I'm open for other questions, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome. Yes. No. So this is the price. If you're looking for, yeah. So no, this is an online payment. There is no cash payment that you can do. There is no cash payment. This is the online payment that we need to go through. Yes, this, yeah. So mind mode is the tool that I used, to show the mind map, and I think it's available only for Mac. So I'm not sure whether it's available for Windows, but I think something is there for Windows as well, similar to mind mode. Any question? Yes. So in that one hour call, that will be over the Zoom or over the phone, where you need to come up with the problem or the strategy that you want to probably redevelop. The workshop will be online on Zoom, but the meeting that I'm talking about, that's happening in Dubai next week, that is going to be in person. Yes. So yeah, once you register for this, in the email you will get all the information that, where we are going to meet and everything. Time will be, mutually decided. We need to decide those time mutually. I'll share the, me or someone from my team would get back to you with the time slot. Yes, in-person option is available for India as well, but you need to register now, and then we can discuss that, what are the options that we have in India. For which part of India that you are from, Mr. Mehta? Okay, all right. So yeah, we may want to do that, but for people in Dubai, I'm traveling there next week. Any other question, ladies and gentlemen? Okay, someone has written a long question. Okay, this is Arun. Can I have a personal contact to have a quick discussion? And I have a lot of confusion on the goal setting. So, Mr. Chakravarti, you may want to register for this workshop, and trust me, you will get all your answers, clear, and you will have your business goals ready with you at the end of the workshop. That's the promise that I have. That is for Mr. Arun Chakravarti. Right, you need to register now. There's a QR code that you can scan, or there's a link. Let me put the link once again. This is the link. The consultation can be over the phone. So the retainership that I have with the organizations, the companies which are there in UAE and India, I either travel there, or for the companies in Africa, I travel there, once in a quarter. For the rest of the countries, I do it, over the phone or over the Zoom these days. Any other question, ladies and gentlemen? I'm here to answer your questions. All right, let me All right. I have enabled that option where you can unmute yourself and ask me the question. If you have any question, ladies and gentlemen. Any business, any business, even if it's MLM or network marketing, any business. I have a client from the Kangen Waters, right? So any business, Leslie. Right. So as I've been saying that, this business goal setting should work for any business, any scale, any industry, any size. I have clients who are the single person business, like a solopreneur. The clients, the clients who have only less than 10 people. I have clients who have 6,000 employees. All right, so I think that's all from my end.
All right. Thank you, Milind. Thank you for such a good session and such a good discussion on business DNA and business zoom out. Before we end the call, will it be possible for our attendees to switch on their cameras just for a second so that we can quickly take a picture as a memory? And then I think we can end the session for today. So maybe if you all can switch on your cameras, please, just for a second. All right.
Okay, someone is saying that I'm not available for a camera shoot.
It's fine. The picture.
Mr. Kumar is
Thank
saying
you, everyone.
there's a problem with the camera.
Thank you. I've taken the picture.
Great. All right, guys. If you have any question, I'm here for next 2 to 3 minutes. You can unmute yourself and ask question, or otherwise we'll call it a day today.
Okay. Thank you, Milind.
Thank you, Nida.
Thanks,
Thank you very
everyone.
much.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.